Hey everyone, welcome back. Another consignment update. It's been a bit quiet from us recently, apart from the video demos, of course, which I'm sure you've all seen. Some great demos there from Jack Kendrew. Next auction, 9th to the 12th of September, back to 4 days. Yeah, we've been very busy, hence the lack of consignment updates. We've started laying out the sale room, which we've nearly done, so that's going to be ready for your viewing pleasure as of next Thursday. So we've got an extra day's viewing next week, so Thursday the 4th of September, and of course the 5th of September with a Friday, and then the Monday before the sale. So yeah, been very busy. There's also been holidays and things, so back refreshed maybe. I don't know, I'm back and it's been pretty full on since I've been back, so maybe not quite so refreshed anymore. But yeah, what we're going to do today is we're going to have probably a last look through the tail end lot numbers. If you want to see, go back and look at the other consignment updates, because there's lots to look at there. Probably up to around lot 370-ish in the previous consignment updates. We're going to go through like I said, the tail end of the catalogue, show you what we've got coming up, just so you can see them in the flesh, so to speak. And yeah, next week we will be back with another video, and we may have a guest appearance in that video. We're going to try something a bit different, so that could be quite interesting to look out for that one. It will include things that are in the sale, but there will just be someone with me in the video. But anyway, 9th to 12th of September, please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, it all helps grow our community. If you see this video and it's under 500 likes, hit that button, it really helps get it out there, get it pushed out there, and the bigger the community gets, the more videos we can essentially do. So yeah, please do so if you don't usually, and of course put some comments on there, what you like, what you don't like, any corrections. There's always a mistake or two, I'm only human. So yeah, let's have a look. 9th to 12th of September. The previous videos have been up to around the 370s, starting on 376 this one. Epiphone Dot is what it is. It's had a Bigsby conversion, Seymour Duncan upgrades, so good upgraded pickups there, exactly what they are as in the catalogue, but pretty good condition, good to go. Lot 377 is this Hondo Longhorn copy, of course a copy of the Dan Electro. So like I said, this is going to be 377 in your catalogue. For those of you who would like a hard copy catalogue, we will be getting them back from print towards the end of this week. Which, what are we today? We're actually a Thursday now, the 28th, so we should have some catalogues back tomorrow. You can order them via the office. I believe they're £15 by post if you do prefer a hard copy, if you're not already on the mailing list and subscribe to those. But you can see everything online. The online catalogue's been up for nearly 2 weeks now. But anyway, you will see this one in there. This is not original, which I'm sure the eagle eye would have spotted. But that is top mounted, so it's not massively intrusive, although there will be some holes. Original pickup. But it's essentially a guitar, I think they're referred to as a guitar lin, with the extra frets at the top there, teeny tiny frets, which my fat fingers can't get a sound out of. We try. There we go, lot 377. And lot 378, we have this Fender American Special Stratocaster. You got the Texas Special pickups in this one and the big headstock. I do love a big headstock with the big logo. Obviously not everyone's preference. A lot of people like the smaller head and the spaghetti logo, but each their own. Olympic white finish, probably one of my favourite colours as well. So this has got a lot going for it for me. I prefer a rosewood board if I'm honest. But for those of you who like a maple board, want a big headstock Strat, and these really are great pickups, then there we go. And this one is from 2017. Here's another interesting one. We more often see 6 strings of these. This is the LR Bags Model Godin. I mean, I guess it's basically a multi-ack, is what they were later known as. But yeah, 12-string version. You can get nylon and steel strings. But if you fancy a 12-string and you haven't got one, there you go. and a Del Art. This is the Jimmy Rosenberg, and it's made or designed by John Kinnard. These good sort of jazz guitars. This has got the small sound hole. We do also have Vino in the cell, who is a well-regarded gypsy jazz maker. That'll be somewhere over in the cabinets at the back there. I can just about see it at the back. We might have a look at that later. But decent gypsy jazz guitar. Lot 384, one of my favourite Gibson models. What is the year on this one? 77. So very early example with the maple board. And this is the RD Custom, as it says on the truss rod cover. And it's in fairly good condition. Still got all the Moog electronics in place. A very loud beast. But yeah, I really like them. This one is, I mean, they are always heavy, but this one isn't actually too bad. So we have that one, and then if we have a look next to it, lot 385, we've got the slightly later one with the the funky headstock. I think it's the Victory model, isn't it, that has this headstock. This is from 1982. This has been refinished. I mean, the refinish is very obvious on the back there, where someone's overbrushed, tried to, at least on the serial number. I'm not a fan of this model with this headstock, but I'm sure there are plenty that do like it. Lot 388, really cool guitar, competition stripe Mustang, and this is in candy apple red, of course, and yeah, 1972. A few chips around the neck pocket, that can happen. Hasn't been played much. You can see the lot of lacquer, high gloss lacquer still on the neck, but yeah, good, decent condition. And we have a late 65 Fender Mustang that I will show you shortly. Some cool bass guitars here. We've got the Peavey Cirrus. I think it's one of their better models. Really high quality 6-string bass. So if you're after a decent 6-string, then that'll be one to go for. We also have this Padula, first bass by the maker that we've had. This is a 6-string again, fretless, as you can see, and this is the Thunderbolt model, but really, really high quality. And like I said, I've never seen one before, so I don't really know a lot about them. But just judging what it's like in the hand and what it sounds like, really cool, high quality, US made 6-string bass. 391 Larrivee D-03 electroacoustic guitar. Not really much to say. It's in fantastic condition. It's not that old in the scheme of things, but just a good solid dread acoustic guitar. Late 90s Guild JF65 acoustic guitar, 12-string, highly figured maple back and sides. These are really good 12-string instruments. In fact, Guild acoustics in general, I've got a lot of time for. Quite underrated still. Don't know why people don't pay them more attention, because yeah, you can pick them up at relatively good money, certainly for the quality. But yeah, decent 12-string by Guild there from the early 90s. A couple of tellies here. Lot 394. We've got this American Performer in this penny metallic finish, and 2019 that one, but that looks in very good condition. Can't really see anything wrong with that at all. And then we've got a classic player Barger Telecaster, which those of you who have watched our videos right from the start will know how much I like these, because I have one. Small ding there. These are custom shop designed. This one's from 2009. Big chunky 50s neck, got the S1 switching, see-through butterscotch finish, and custom shop pickups, or is it twisted telly pickups? Anyway, can't remember. I've got one and I can't even remember. But there we go. Very good guitars indeed. A couple of 50s Strats here. On the left we've got a 90s crafted in Japan 50s V profile maple board, single ply guard, tobacco sunburst, all the classic specs. Really good guitars, as a lot of you already know. And then on the right, which is basically the same concept, but this is the 50th anniversary deluxe model. So you get this little 50th mark on the guard, and then you get the case as well with the 50th anniversary logo. But you got the deluxe abalone dots, the S1 switching again. This one's got a bit of tarnishing to the hardware, but they are good guitars. Bit of a fancy guitar, V8 custom guitars. I think you can see where the name comes from, very car inspired with the vents. This is the Bonneville model, very expensive to buy, and you also have to import them from the States. But do check this out. You can check the spec in the catalogue online. But it's a really cool guitar. So if you're into your cars, or your motorbikes, I guess. And there we go, the V8 Custom Bonneville. So here we have the ES339 Pro, so a scaled down 335 essentially, in the Pelham Blue finish, good clean condition. We got a Player Plus Telecaster, and this is the Nashville spec. So you have noiseless pickups. You can see all the Perspex film is still intact. So that is a good quality guitar made in Mexico. Yeah, high appointments there. Very good instrument, a little bit heavy. Talking about heavy, the boat anchor that is the PVT60, and funnily enough, that is not. I think this Telecaster is actually heavier, amazingly. Must be the extra pickup. But there we go. This has had some electrical modifications, so do check out the catalogue to see what we say on that one. And what have we got around here? We got another Fender Stratocaster. That's a USA Strat. That is a 1999, and that is a Roadhouse Stratocaster in superb condition. The seller has admitted himself that he didn't use it that much at all. Basically bought it and it's lived in its case most of its life. From 1994 we've got an Ovation. They always did, most years they did a collector's guitar. So this is the collector's edition from 1994. So typical Ovation bowl back. And then we've got a Custom Legend. I will give you the exact model number when I pick it up. So this is another good quality Ovation. This is a Custom Legend 6759 electroacoustic 12 string. Mexican standard fat strats. We got the humbucker, so HSS spec. So if you like a humbucker on a Stratocaster and you don't like it to break the bank, then that's a good option. They usually hammer it between £300 and £400. And then here we have a made in Japan, so slightly earlier than the crafted in Japan guitars. And this is a precision bass, and this is a maple board, and it's fretless. I believe originally a fretless. Can't see any sign. Maybe it has to been defretted. I'd have to look closer, or at least put my glasses on. And then we have another precision bass here, and this is a Fender Mexican Standard from 2011. That will be Olympic white finish, maple board, good quality precision bass guitar. So from 1985 we have a Rickenbacker 62012 with the crest cutaway or horn, and yeah, in the red finish. It has some scratching and buckle marks, but not bad considering its age. 40-year-old guitar now. So there we go, if you're in the market for a Rickenbacker 12. And then next to that we have a 1980 Washburn Wing Series. This is a Falcon, very well made guitars from Japan, all through neck design, and with the Senash wings, and then it's got the bird's eye maple topped, and then the maple center as well. But very good quality. They don't need much introduction at all. I do like them. And then from the mid 2000s we have a TL52, so 50 spec Fender Telecaster made in Japan. Again, another guitar in good clean condition with this natural finish single ply black guard. And then what have we got next to that? We have a 12 string, so again made in Japan. This should be crafted in Japan, so usually later these ones, you can see the plastic film is still intact. It's in very good condition. Fender Stratocaster 12 string in the sunburst finish. And lot 417 is this 1971 Gibson Les Paul Deluxe. And you'll all be saying, can't be a deluxe. It's got humbuckers. Well, it's been yeah, modified to house these humbuckers. So it's in, I mean, apart from that mod, it's actually in okay condition. It's had tuners as well. As you can see, the Clusons have been replaced with Grovers, which quite frankly is an improvement anyway. Bit of buckle marking there, but it's got this good strong gold finish. And yeah, I mean, we do have quite a few Gibson Les Paul Deluxes in this sale. We've got quite a lot of Gibson Les Pauls from this period. So I think you are going to be sport for choices. When you do go in the catalogue, just put in Les Paul Deluxe and you'll see all the options. We've got quite a few that have been converted to humbucker spec, but then we do have some original mini humbucker examples as well. So do check all of those out. There is some great examples, gold top sunbursts, you name it, it's there. We have a Hofner Committee, and this is the E2 model. So it's got this switch here from 1964, brunette, and as you can see, it's in pretty good condition. The last one of these we had a headstock repair, but it's still very popular. This one's got a bit of scraping on the neck, but other than that, it's a good example. Really high figuring maple, really nice woods on that. So here we have a 2014 Gibson J45 Custom. It is a nice guitar, although there is this cosmetic issue that we should point out. It's had a bit of a ding. It's not structural, just aesthetic, but just to bear in mind. But if you want a solid J45, and that is a flashy model, being the Custom with a bit higher end appointments. But yeah, there we go, 2014 Gibson J45 Custom. Old American guitars to show you. Well, we have lots of old American guitars in this sale, but these are quite a bit older. 433, we've got a 1930 National Triolian, and a lot of you will be saying that doesn't look right for a Triolian with that big, really shiny, glossy finish, or chromed finish. Well, it's not, because it has been refinished. Chrome plated or nickel plated is what they call it. But there we go, 1930 National Triolian. And then just behind that, 434, we have, this is a really cool guitar. I love the design on these. This was popularised by the blues legend Memphis Mini. And this is a 1939 National New Yorker, and always referred to as the Memphis Mini model. But this is in great original condition. Does have some wear, so it has been played, but it is in fantastic condition. You will need to find the appropriate jack though. It's still got the original jack there. I just love how this blade pickup sits so close to the bridge there. But yeah, you don't see them around that often. So you're into your old, well, this is getting on to antique now, isn't it? Approaching 100 years old. Well, not quite, but we're closer to 100 than we are anything else. There we go. Close enough. But there we go, 1939 National New Yorker Memphis. After a Gibson Firebird from a good period. 90s Gibsons tend to be a good solid choice. We have a 1996 Gibson Firebird V, and pretty good condition. Few dings and marks, bit of lacquer checking, but that's what you would expect for a guitar of this age, I guess. And then we saw some RD guitars earlier in the video, and we do have another one. And from a personal point of view, this would probably be my pick. This is the RD Artist. So you've got the ebony board of this one with the block inlays and the natural finish. I always remember when I was 15 or 16 in school, and one of my very good friends ended up acquiring a RD Artist inspired by Dave Grohl, and I was instantly jealous, the envy, while I was still slumming it on my, I was probably on an Epiphone Les Paul Custom then, which isn't too bad, I guess. But yeah, this is from '77, so an early one. It does have a factory second stamp on the head. Never completely sure why. It's usually a finishing issue. Could be something to do with the finish around here. But there we go, 1977 Gibson RD Artist. Ibanez Professional Bob Weir model, Grateful Dead guitarist. This is in the sunburst finish. You get the slightly different model with the natural finish as well. So you get this carve at the edge, which I think is quite cool. But as you can see, Sen Ash body, as most of these Japanese-made Ibanez guitars are. This one's from 1978. Replacement pickups, as you can see, but apart from that, it's not bad at all. And then having a look at some other interesting things. Don't often see this model, the Peavey Horizon II, with these blade humbucker pickups. Pearlescent metallic finish as well. It's missing its back plate, a few scratches and dings, but an interesting US made guitar. This is a really cool guitar, and yeah, I think they're wicked actually. Really good shape, good Japanese quality. This is the Kaiwa Performer KE10 model, and these are actually housed. These house the Mighty Mite MFG 1300 pickups, which are the pickups that were favoured by Van Halen, and they are stock to the guitar. So it's a really cool design. Got some great pickups in. I mean, they're good enough for Van Halen. I think they're good enough for anyone really, especially if you're into the old shred thing. But yeah, I think a really good, lesser seen Japanese made instrument there. 441 FMT Fender Telecaster, made in Indonesia but still very high quality. So the flame maple top, Seymour Duncan humbucker pickups, which are stock, but this was a special run, so don't always come up, but they are very, very good quality guitars. And then just behind that, just before we get onto another FSR Fender, we have a Greco, and this is a EG700, so Les Paul style guitar, and this is from 1978. Got a few dings and marks, but otherwise it's not bad at all. And then just behind that, I said we had another FSR Fender, and this is a cool guitar actually. It's got the competition stripe on the sort of Lake Placid blue coloured body, got a slight ding to the edge there, but this is a made in Japan instrument from 2018. Something a bit different, made in Korea. This is a Backlund Rockerbox II, hollow body guitar, but you've got the sound hole on this side, these three little sound holes. Anyway, something a bit different, isn't it? Fairly modern guitar, I believe from around 2021, from memory. We got a Parker Fly, if you're into your Parkers. Nice lightweight, the necks always raved about, nice fast necks. In fact, we have another Parker there as well. I think that's the Nitefly, isn't it? There we go, both US made Parker guitars, pretty cool. And then going further down the line, we've got this Comins GCS-1, again another high quality instrument, and it's pretty much in, I mean, it's in excellent condition, pretty much mint condition. We don't get them in the sale that often. And then what else have we got going down here? We've got a Fender Stratocaster Plus by the looks of it. There we go, with the lace sensor pickups. And there's a tiny bit of pulling on the neck, maple neck there, three-tone sunburst finish, few marks and scrapes, but always very popular. But 459 is this 1977 Gibson MK-35, very short-lived model, through the fairly experimental period of Gibson guitars. Some people love them though, and they are different, aren't they? But then next to that we have a more traditional Gibson with the Les Paul Customs. This is from 1990, I think. Yes, it is. We do have two 1990 Les Paul Customs in this colour in the sale. The other one does have a neck repair. This one is all absolutely fine, as usual, fairly weighty. And then we have a 70s Gibson SG Standard with the small block inlays. This does have a neck repair, mentioning neck repairs from the previous one. Yeah, you can have a look in the catalogue and read all about that one. And next to that, another Les Paul Deluxe. I mentioned we got quite a few of these. This is from 1974. and this does have some issues as well. The gold top's okay. It's got some dings and marks. When we turn it over, and we can see the back and sides and the neck have all been refinished. It's had some different tuners on at some point as well. So it's a little ropey. I guess we call it player's grade, but still a cool 70s Les Paul Deluxe. So next we have a Tokai Love Rock. This is a Japanese model, but we do have a pretty horrific neck break, and I would say that needs re-breaking and doing again. So a job for someone. It is stable, but obviously if it's not repaired quite right, the angle might not be quite there, but it actually doesn't look too bad angle wise. But anyway, please do be aware of that. If you're looking at this Tokai and you want a Japanese Tokai, this might not be the one for you because of that head repair. Obviously we've got some replacement shallow tuners as well. If you're into Joe Satriani, we've got the Ibanez for you. Here is the JS series Joe Satriani model, and this is the JS100, so which I believe is the lowest end model, and this is from 2003, made in Korea, but still a pretty cool guitar. Nice fast shredding on that one. And then from 1972 we have another Gibson Les Paul Deluxe, and you can see this one has also been humbuckered. Lots of pitting and the tarnishing on the hardware. So yeah, do be aware of that. But the finishing all looks okay from what I can see. Yeah, not bad. But it has been obviously routed out for those humbucker pickups, like a lot of them that we have in the sale. And then here we have American Special. So again, we've got the Texas Special pickups, the big headstock. We saw the Olympic white one earlier in the video. So if you want one with a maple board and a candy apple red finish, something a bit brighter and more metallic, and there's a good option. You can see just behind there we've got a Burns Brian May Red Special. They don't need much introduction. This is a pretty funky guitar, Bernie guitar, and this has got this champagne sparkle finish all over. Made in 2009 with the 3 pickups. And then just behind that we have a 67, I believe, reissue. It's got the very Hendrix, what we associate with Hendrix, big transitional headstock, made in Japan, so a reissue there. So an earlier made in Japan rather than the later crafted in Japan models. That is another cool guitar. Here we have a 1994 Heritage Alvin Lee model, so a tribute to his guitar. This has, it's basically got an interchangeable bridge, because Alvin Lee did have a, I think was it a Kahler trem he put on his? Anyway, we've got all the workings for that as well, which is, yeah, quite interesting. But there we go. So that is the Alvin Lee model Heritage, and then we got some EVH guitars. We've got the Peavey Wolfgang Special there, with the EMG pickups. There we go. And then behind that we've got the Fender EVH Red Stripe. So the Stripe series, this is the red, white and black stripe. It's got that iconic look. It's got the really nice fast satin neck, single pickup, single knob. Just what I like. Trem's a bit too much for me though, a bit too complicated. And then sat behind that we do have another signature model. This is the SRV Stevie Ray Vaughan, iconic pick guard there with the SRV logo, Stevie Ray Vaughan signature to the head there. And then just behind there we have a Fender Lead 1 model that has been converted to a Lead 2 with the extra pickup. So you can see the extra pickup's been put in there. It has had a switch that's been covered over on the guard, but apart from that, it's not bad condition. We don't get many of them. I think I've only sold 2 or 3 over the past 16 or so years. And then some more shred-tastic indeed. Ibanez guitars. There we go. This is the RG770. I was hoping it would say on the back there, because picking all these models off the top of my head, I nearly said 550, which is the one we most commonly see, but that is a 770 model, and that is made in Japan, isn't it? Yeah, made in Japan in the 1990s. And then having a look behind us here, we have in very good condition this Ernie Ball Music Man Axis with the figured maple top in the natural finish. The back plate is not there. I cannot remember whether that's in the case or not. It will be in the catalogue description anyway. We got a nice satin fill, highly figured maple neck, and I do like this 4 and 2 aside headstock, small headstock, very much like the Silhouettes, but most Music Man guitars have that. Quite an interesting Ibanez guitar here actually. Just move that Parker back there. We've already seen that Parker. So this has been modded. This is an RG550. You can see the similarities, well you can't because this has been modded with the pickguard. But you can see it's got the BHM Brian Harold May pickup set and switching, which I think is a really cool feature. So you can have an Ibanez guitar but sound like Brian May. Probably, well, one of my guitar heroes. Just behind that we have another Ibanez guitar, and this is the Frank Gambale model. So there we go. We've got a signature there. We believe this is Frank Gambale. All the Gambale model guitars I have sold in the past have actually been autographed by him, probably picked up at various signing events and what do you call them, workshops, clinics. There we go, that's the word. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is though. The vendor seemed to indicate that it's actually from a deceased estate, but there seemed to be some kind of indication that it was autographed by the man himself. But again, that's another 90s instrument. So here we have a Washburn D333 dime bag guitar. This is the Funky Monkey one, which were the Chinese ones that were basically more affordable. So from 2008. I think this has replacement pickups from memory. I can't remember. Have a look at the catalogue. I've seen a lot of guitars since and around this time. So there we go, a few stickers to the back, but if you're into dime bag, there we go. These are usually very popular actually, especially with the poker finish that you don't see that often. And then we have another Gibson Firebird here. This is from the 1970s, mid-1970s. I think it's 77. Again, have a look in the catalogue. 76, 77 anyway. You can see it's had the pickups replaced. It's had some switching as well. There is a small route underneath the guard, but it is still a mid-70s Gibson Firebird nonetheless. And then what have we got behind? I'll have a quick look. Very Gilmore-esque with the black pick guard and the white plastics other than that. So this is a 1975 Fender Stratocaster, which is essentially, yeah, very much the David Gilmour look. So here we have a Duesenberg. This is a D-caster. It's the first time we've had one of these models. It's got this interesting blend switch. It's quite a lot of fun to play with actually. But yeah, something a bit different. I love the style of these guitars, as a lot of well-regarded artists do. People like Billy Gibbons and Ronnie Wood, big fans of their guitars. And then we got a Fender Stratocaster behind in the red Stratocaster. It's not a Stratocaster, it's a Telecaster, of course. Won't be the first time I've made that mistake in a video. Too many Strats and Tellies. This is a Telecaster from the year 2000.
Before you go in the comments going, ooh.
So this is a Fender Telecaster with the red finish. I did say Telecaster, didn't I? Yeah, I did. And behind there we have a Telecaster inspired instrument. This is the Breezy Sound, Tokai Breezy Sound, with this blue finish from the mid-1980s, Japanese made. Another cool guitar. So before we close, I'm just going to show you a few things in the cabinet that we may have missed. Of course, we do have things like the Jimmy Page guitar that's proudly sat there with the newspaper article where he is playing it. I'm sure you've all heard about that guitar. There we go. Just in front of there, we got one of Bernie Marsden's Marshall amps that was sold in our Bernie Marsden auction, but the buyer has now become a seller with it. And then, of course, we got the Baldwin 66 that was previously owned and played quite a lot by Mark Knopfler. so I'm sure you've all heard about that. Just to the right of that, we've got a Guild acoustic guitar that was used by Eric Clapton, 1970s Guild guitar, and that was used for various writing purposes. We've got the Brotherhood of Man and Martin Lee guitars just on the end there, and there's his Les Paul as well. We've got the Peter Green Telecaster, and then we've got a Pete Townshend, formerly owned by Takamine there. Whether it was stage used, we're not quite sure, but that was that's got an interesting story actually. We got an interesting Vox column speaker here. We've got no provenance, but it's got a Kinks logo to the back of it. Very interesting. Anyway, Pete Townshend, Johnny Marr and Van Morrison signed Gibson here. The Chet Atkins 6120 from the 1960s here. And then we have the multi-artist signed Gibson here as well. So yeah, some really interesting guitars coming up. Lot 386, which you can see here. I don't think we've featured this in a video. This is a Medallion Firebird, so limited edition instrument from 1972. So that's in great condition, comes with its original medallion case as well. And here we have a 1991 Fender Stratocaster Plus. This has a bit of a rarer finish of this charcoal frost metallic. I believe that's what it's called anyway. Lace sensor pickups as you'd expect, but again a popular model. I'm just going to briefly put that down. And then what else have we got that we haven't seen? We have, I mentioned the Jacques Favino. This is from 1982, but it's in pretty good condition. Obviously it has been used, but we actually have a Brazilian rosewood back and sides. But it has got some lacquer pulling, but a decent gypsy jazz guitar and quite sought after amongst the collectors of such things. What else have we got? We have a 1972, isn't it? Yeah, 1972 Gibson Les Paul Deluxe. I was looking at Chris for clarification because I've spoken about so many of these today. He's just remembering exactly when they're from. So this is a 72 Les Paul Deluxe. This is probably the most desirable, I guess, one in the sale, just because it's in good condition. The finish is really strong. Obviously we do have a few dings and some checking, but we do have the original mini humbucker pickups. There is some buckle rash to the back, but yeah, that is probably the most honest and best condition one we have. And then I told you that we had a 60s Mustang, which I'll show you here. So it's got this Dakota red finish, and it must be late 60s, this one, because it's got a Indian rosewood board rather than a Brazilian rosewood board, or it certainly looks Indian rosewood to us, so which would put it certainly towards the later end of the 65, but it comes with its original case, and it is a cool example if you like those short scale guitars. This is a pretty cool custom shop Strat 2016. And this is a Journeyman Relic Fender Custom Shop Stratocaster in this Catalina blue finish. There weren't many made in this finish at all. Someone told me there was only about 4 of them made, but I don't know whether that's true or not. Anyway, you can see the spec and read up all about it in our online catalogue description. Of course, the printed catalogues are coming back from print very soon if you want to order one. So this is a 2005 Gibson CS356, really high quality Gibson custom shop guitar. It's got this flamed finish, which are the more desirable ones, but as you can see, great condition, ebony board, and the pearl block inlays. So there we go, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed that consignment update. We were whizzing through them quite a bit there, but we have actually shown you right to the end of part 1 guitars. Obviously they're worth it. Some things we were bypassing because we can't show everything, but of course if you're interested in any of these guitars, you can come down and view them. You can ask for condition reports, however you would like to do it. We will be back next week with another video. Like I said earlier, we might have a special guest with us talking about a few things, yeah, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get notified for future uploads, and let us know what you like, don't like in the comments. and any suggestions are very much appreciated. Full catalogue is online at guitarauctions.com or auctions.gardnerhoulgate.co.uk, and of course the sale is from the 9th to the 12th of September 2025, so not long now, and some great lots as you have seen. Go and check out the previous consignment updates to refresh yourselves, and you can see a clearer view of these instruments, get closer, and it's certainly better than looking at some of the photographs. You can see them more in the flesh. So thanks for joining us again today. We will see you very soon.